Hi, Julia Watts here. So today we are going to make a tag. This is the one that's going to go into my planner. It's going to go into this pocket, and you will find another video on my YouTube channel that shows you how I made this tag and then the page for my planner to go around it. So I'd said at the time that I'd got a tag that was going to go in the back, and I had an idea. That idea won't work, so we're going to go with something else. So anyway, that's what we're doing, and we are using Andy Skinner's Watercolour Sketches. These have been so popular, and I believe that there are more children stamps to come next year. You'll find these over on my website juliawattscrafts.co.uk. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the image from the Nowhere to Go But Up, but I'm going to use the sentiment from the Let Your Dreams Take Flight. Put my teeth in. So, because you can obviously mix and match because they are separate. The sentiments are separate from the images. So we're going to use a boy because the other tag's got a little girl on it, and let's keep it, you know, nice and even. So we've got both sexes represented. And obviously these are rubber stamps, so you can't see through them. I've taken my foam out of my stamping platform, but I put this back in again, this paper back in again, to protect the base just in case I'm stamping over the edge. So we've got the little boy image here, and the stamps they do come trimmed already. You might get them on red rubber, you might get them on grey. I'm not sure what they're sending out just at the minute. And you just, there's like a film on the back which you just peel off, and therein they actually cling. So obviously you turn it over, position it where you want it. Now I'm going to have the sentiment at the top. Hopefully it'll fit. Let me just check. If it doesn't, then we might have to use it. Yes, just about fits, look. So we're going to put him down here, and the sentiment at the top just about fits. I think we'll have some of the birdies going off. That's the balloon, that's the birdies. And this is the largest tag from the Elizabeth Craft Designs 2055 tab 4 with tags. So tab 4 is the page, and then it's got 5 tags, and it's got lots of different designs of reinforcers to put on, and then there's a little tiny tag that you can add to it as well. Again, you'll find that on my website juliawattscrafts.co.uk. Now let's see if he's straight. He's not quite, so now you can manipulate him to try and make sure he's straight, because you want this line to be as straight as possible on your, I mean obviously it stops there and there's a lower line that comes here, but you want that to be pretty straight, and you can use the lines on your stamping platform to line that up. Let's just check we're still on the tag. Yay, that helps. And let's grab my Nocturne First Fine Clair, which is our black one, and give him a bit of a stamp. Make sure he's nice and secure, because we will need to stamp him a couple of times. And with this, I'm going to do a technique that I have got a video already, but I've made those into cards, and some of them have been sold at the Maker's House in Fareham. And so I thought I'd have a tag, because I can put this tag in my planner, and it's a reminder of this technique for me whenever I'm looking through my art journal. And it's just something nice to have. And of course, if I wanted to, I could fetch the tag out and use it in a book as a bookmark. So it has lots and lots of benefits to actually, you know, do it this way. And let's face it, I've made loads of cards with these stamps. I've made a lot with these stamps. I absolutely adore them, and I know that you guys out there love them too. Fantastic. I am going to go again though, because I need him to be darker. I've got something on him there. Looks like a bit of glitter or something just there on his trousers. bit annoying. These are used in classes and workshops, so all sorts of things get on them. But you know, I haven't the space to have one for me and one for the workshops. Seems a little bit excessive, doesn't it? Hopefully that hasn't moved. I don't think it has, because it's not a sticky stamp. Sometimes when clear stamps are new, you'll find that things move, but not so much with rubber. Give it a good old press, give that ink a chance to settle into the watercolour card. And it is the super smooth watercolour card from Sentimentally Yours that I'm using. Give it a good old press. He's pretty good. I'll have him, that'll do. How's my balloon looking? Let's just give that another press up there. Okay, we'll have that. Happy with that. Fantastic images, aren't they? There is a new Andy Skinner collection coming out towards the end of September, but it isn't the children. The new children images should be next year. So that's something to look forward to, isn't it? The ones at the end of September are really cool. Right, so now we're going to put the image on. Not the image, sentiment. And it's always a challenge getting rubber sentiments straight. If you don't want to use a rubber sentiment, don't. It's up to you. Right, so again, we're going to put it on there, and then I'm going to see if I can get it straight. That's not too bad, actually. I think it just needs to be using the lines. I think we're going to go with that. It's as near as it can be. I just think that this is just more suitable for my planner. And just to show you, you can mix and match, because I mean, it's the only difference is it's a boy holding a balloon rather than a girl holding the balloon. So both of the sentiments will fit both of the images perfectly. And there's also the one with the little boy standing up that's holding a balloon. So you can mix and match across all three of them. That's perfect. Right, good-o. Happy with that. You can see how much I clean my stamps. Right, now we're going to do the background. And this, like I say, I've shown this before, but it's quite nice to have it again. Beautiful image. Absolutely stunning image. Right, so what you do is you just take a piece of cardboard. Make sure you trim it so it's nice and straight. So it's just a bit of packaging. I've doodled on the other side. Just a bit of packaging. It can be bigger, can be wider if you want. You could have it the full width. I've just taken wherever I found. And oops, this is going to be with faded jeans, I think, because I think that will go nicely against the blue that I've got in here. I could go brown. I always go for Scorched Timber. I really like Scorched Timber. Should I go for that? Oh, decisions. I do love a bit of Scorched Timber. Let's go Scorched Timber. I always go for it, and I really like it. What have I done with it? That's the question. I'll put it somewhere. We might have to go for faded jeans if I can't find the Scorched Timber. I had it a second ago. There it is, right in front of me. Right, Scorched Timber. So you put some on your craft sheet. Good old squidge. And then we're going to mist with water. That's my window. Looks like we've got a ghost. The more water you have, the lighter it's going to be, and the more it's going to move. So I'm going to use the other side actually, just to mix it up like that. And I'm going to grab it and I'm just going to drag it down my card. This is the hard bit, getting the other side. I don't want to wipe it off. I'll tell you what we do. Where we're going to put the reinforcer, I'll hold it there with my finger. Okay, that'll do. I don't want to overdo it. So now we have to leave that to dry. So we'll leave it to dry and we'll come back and add some colour. Okay, so my tag is nice and dry now. It's quite interesting actually, because the VersaFine clay does act like a little bit of a resist. So can you see how it's dried around where the sentiment is? It's given it a little bit of a halo, and around the birds as well. I find that really interesting, the way it does that. And obviously it's good for us because it means that it pops a little bit more. Obviously we've got some colour here on the image itself, so we're going to try and colour over the top with some of the watercolour blending brush pens. It might not show up too much, but it's definitely worth adding a little bit of a pop of colour. I do love the way that you get so many different shades from Scorched Timber. It's such a wonderful distress ink, and I did actually add a little bit more water to it, and I mopped up, and look at how pale the mop-ups are. It's almost like a grey that you get from it, and you've got tones of pale yellow in there. Look at that splash of yellow down there. I just think it's a wonderful colours. Obviously I can use that on something else, don't waste it. So I do like a red balloon. So we're going for watercolour blending brush pens, and it's these little scraps that you've got left over are definitely worth keeping, because they're great for adding your colour to it. Because if you say you took a piece of white card but you're working on watercolour card, which is the super smooth, which is the off-white, you're going to get a totally different look, a totally different colour. Obviously these you won't probably see so much on the tag, but you can just blend the colour out, so you can see it just moves really easily, just with a little bit of water on a water brush. And obviously as that dries, that blend, that line will disappear, and you can blend the colours together as well. So if we clean off the brush, if we wanted to go for, say, these two browns here, we could pull those into each other and give yourself a bit of a mix of colour. They're great pens, absolutely great pens, and they obviously it's not obvious, they have a very fine tip on them as well, so they're great for detail. So we're going to go red balloon, and I'm not going to do any fancy colouring in. We're just going to get that colour on there, and just as is, because you don't have to be clever with these images at all. I'm going for circular motions to try and get a nice smooth line. They are very sketchy, these images, which kind of helps you a little bit. Means that you don't have to be a brilliant colourist. You're just adding a pop of colour, that's all we're doing. I'm going to go on top of the black ink as well. Now the Distress Oxide has oxidised because it was mixed with water, so it won't actually move now, or very little, so you don't need to worry about that. You won't get mud. It's just whether the pigment on the pens is strong enough to show up, which of course it is on that red. And don't forget, you've got the little bit on the balloon that you need to pop a bit of red in as well. So that's that. So I thought we would actually give the little boy a green top, so he's going to go for this nice sort of fluorescent green. And again, we are going on top of Scorched Timber, so it won't necessarily be true to colour. I am going to see if I can get a little bit of shading going on, so I'm going to go into the darker areas first. And it's very difficult to know where his top stops and his trousers start, so it doesn't matter basically, because they are sketchy images from Andy Skinner. So we're just going to go around the edges. And it is quite a pale green, so we might want to go in again afterwards when it's dry. So he's obviously got a sleeve going on here as well. I think it's like that. Let's have a bit more of his top down there, I think. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. And we'll get our water brush going and just smooth some of that colour up. So we've got a little bit of lighter area. That works. Okay. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy and all that. And next we're going to go, I'm going to stay away from his trousers just for a minute because I put water on there. We're going to do his hair in brown, and I didn't like the orangey brown, we've got this brown here which is quite a light brown. If it's not dark enough I'll go for a darker one, but we'll see. I mean, we've got brown underneath. I don't want him to be very dark brown haired. I do quite like doing them as blondes. But we might add a little bit of a darker brown in here as well. See, all the work's done with by the stamp. You don't have to be clever at all. It's just getting that proper colour. Obviously you've got shading by the stamp as well, so you don't have to worry too much. Let's have a look at this brown here. It's a little bit darker. Let's add a little bit of the darker brown as well. Again on them. I'm just going to go lighter on top again because they, as I said, they blend together. Obviously if you put two layers of the same colour, you get a depth of colour anyway. So there's his hair, all done. And well, you do get some of the lines coming through, like on his top as it's drying, you've still got some of the lines coming through from the scorched timber, but that's fine. And let's do his jeans now. Now I've got two blues out. This blue here is too light, so I'll put that one away. I think that's too turquoise, so I'm going to go for this blue, which is actually one of my favourite blues. I believe this is in the set 2 of the watercolour blending brush pens. Obviously it's very different to well, that one's not too bad. Some of them are very different from the little end bit. So let's just add a bit of these blue jeans. And we don't see that much of it really because you've got the shading on the stamp. Don't have to do anything clever with shading at all. Again, I'm not too sure where the trousers end and his foot starts. No idea. I think that's his foot there. I think that might be trainers there. I don't know. No idea. Guesswork. And now we want a little bit of the skin colour. Is this very pale one here, and this is in set 3. I know that for a fact. Now it's going to be very difficult to change his skin colour because obviously we've got scorched timber all over his face. We could have masked him off, but I didn't want to. It does show. So I'm going to make him barefooted, I think. So we're just going to have a little bit of that colour there. And I don't think I'm going to do anything with the what he's sitting on. I'm just going to leave it as is. So that's how he looks. Just a little bit of colour just makes him pop. Fabulous. It's not difficult, is it? Even I can do it. So we are going to edge with the Distress Oxide. They are very quick images to colour in. Obviously you can do as much or as little as you want to. You don't even have to colour them in if you don't want to. On this one I have done, because obviously we've just got Scorched timber going all the way through him. But on many of my finished samples I haven't coloured him in, or coloured the images in. Especially the All You Need Is a Hug. A lot of the backgrounds I've done with that, I haven't bothered colouring it in. If you wanted to add another sentiment at the bottom, you could do. But I'm just going to leave it like that. It's curling a little bit because obviously I've put a little bit more water on. Obviously you can flatten it underneath a book, or I've got an MDF board underneath. I've got my reinforcers. So this is from the Elizabeth Craft Designs tab 4 with tags. Excuse me. Put that over. And this reinforcer is from the same set as well, and you will find that over on my website. There's a little reminder, and obviously you find Andy's stamps and the Distressed Scorched timber over on my website too. So this has got double-sided adhesive on the back. Let's grab hold of it. It's in a couple of bits because sometimes I use this if my piece of card or paper isn't wide enough to take the 4-inch roll. It's got a few little bits actually. Here we go. And we can pop this on here. And there's various different reinforcers in this set. And we can now fold that over. See if we can line it up. There we go. Nice and neat. And that's going to go into my Elizabeth Craft Designs planner with the one from another video. And that's going to go in the back here. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it's been useful. As I said, you can find excuse me, the products over on my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk. And do like and subscribe. Oh dear, like and subscribe my YouTube channel. And thank you for watching.